Morning. Welcome to Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. This is where we're currently at. Bitcoin is sold off, went up to 68,000 yesterday and pulled back to 66,800. Just kind of trying to rally back right at the moment. So we'll see where that ends up. We go to a word of the day. A word of the day is Tittup. Tittup is our word of the day. Move with jerky or exaggerated movements. My horse will tittup to its stall for some hay, even after a long ride. Now we move over to our S&P 500 heat map. That'll bounce in some of the big cap techs. Today, Tesla's off slightly. The consumer defensive continues to be off. The oil and gas are kind of bouncing. Healthcare continues to sell off. United Healthcare bounced yesterday and then now selling off again today. And some of the financials are up as well. So that is currently where we are at. Let's go over to our charts. We're currently looking at Core Scientific. It was pulling back a little bit today after a nice move yesterday. So we'll continue to watch that one. Let us go over to our dollar index. We're going to get our news ready right over here. But in the meantime, look at this dollar. The dollar is just so strong. Got a gap up here, gap up here, gap up here. Holds for 3 days. We got another gap up the next day. Holds for another 3 days. Then we got a gap up again. Holds for 2 days. Or one day after the gap up. Gaps up yesterday and gaps up today. So that is simply amazing. See what on this other screen and take a look at silver. Silver is pulling back a little bit, which you would figure with the dollar remaining so strong. So let us go over here to gold. It is only pulling back to the 10-day moving average, so it's not doing too bad. Gold continues strong, up 0.56%. Copper pulls back. Uranium, look at that move by uranium. Breaks right into the pivot zone. Look at Denison, our uranium miner. It is moving up as well, up 2.75% today. So that is where we are here. Let us go over to, this is the bond yields, the 10-year bond yield jumps almost 2% today. Must be on retail sales numbers, came in pretty strong. And let us move over to 20-year bond yields. Wow, look at that, up 3.23% today. That is pretty strong. Take a look at our VIX. Volatility index gets under 20 as it kind of pulls back. This actually looks like a long-term cup and then handle. So we're going to continue to watch that one. We learned yesterday, Mark Minervini calls this a hard penny environment with volatility strong. The best times are when volatility is really low. And we'll take a look at that chart on our weekend update this weekend. And let us go over to S&P 500. S&P 500 is up with the VIX falling down, up 0.4%. And our equal weight in the S&P 500 is pretty flat for the day. NASDAQ is actually up today, 0.71%. Equal weight in the NASDAQ holding steady, pretty flat for the day. IWM has been kind of leading, and it is pretty flat for the day. The Dow Jones, let's take a look at the individual sectors. Here's the financials. Let's take a look at China. It's taken a big dive down in China today. The exchange traded, the FTSE China index is down as well. So I guess this run is not over on the downside. Utilities pulling back. Retail is pretty flat after the nice kind of move yesterday on retail sales. Communications pulling back a little bit. Real estate holding right about there. Biotech. Other biotech is down pretty flat for the day. Semiconductors gapping up. They're up 3.32% today. I think that would be ETF of the morning. Here's energy. Pretty flat. Oil prices are sticking right down on that gap lower. Consumer discretionary, where Tesla and Amazon are. Look at Amazon. Up slightly today. Healthcare is turning down. Jets, which was our winner yesterday, it's pretty flat, but staying right about where it was from yesterday. Infrastructure. Here's our home construction builders, pretty flat. Transportation is pulling back today, down 1.67%. Metals and mining are moving up. I think forward-looking, the XLB and XME, pretty promising. And our home builders, take a look at Fang Yu, actually bouncing today. It's pretty interesting. Must be in the strength of NVIDIA. So that is a story there. Let's go to our news of the day. Taiwan Semiconductors reported better earnings and raised its 2024 earnings growth target, once again instilling confidence in the AI boom and overall semiconductor demand after the recent disappointment out of ASML sparked fears. The U.S. struck Iran-supported Houthis overnight in Yemen with B-2 stealth bombers targeting weapons storage areas markings the Houthis. So on to our consumer news. Lucid files mixed shelf and a big gap down 16% on that news. I guess those people did not like to be diluted. Tesla, EU weighs using Elon Musk empire revenue for potential X fine. UE may add sales from SpaceX Neuralink to calculate any fine. That's pretty interesting. So Tesla is up 0.17% today. And Madison Square Garden Sports is up. Madison Square Garden Entertainment and Sphere enter a pact with Abu Dhabi. Sphere is a spinoff. Recent spinoff. I guess that's not real. This is where it's showing where it was spun off. Got a nice cup with a handle formation on the monthly anyway. And that kind of leaves us into energy, industrials, and materials. Alcoa tried to move higher and hit by some selling. EPS up 38%, 38 cents versus estimate 28 cents. On to CSX. Q3 EPS 46 cents versus 48 cents. Gaps down and is near its low, off 5.69% today. Kinder Morgan, Q3 adjusted EPS 25 cents versus estimate 27. Initially moved up and then sold off. PP G Industries, Q3 EPS $2.13 versus $2.15, and it is off 0.13%, and not doing too bad. Steel Dynamics, $1.97, and it is gapping up. Blue volume bar, that looks pretty good. Their earnings came in at negative 41%, which beat earnings surprise of almost 4%. So we move on to financials. So Banner Corporation, Q3 adjusted EPS $1.30 versus the estimate of $1.16, gapped up and now is sold off. It's pretty flat for the day, down up 0.21%. Discover Financial Services, Q3 EPS $3.69 versus $3.39. It's moving up almost 2% on that news. Equifax, Q3 EPS $1.85 versus $1.83. It gapped down and now they're fighting back to stay in the pivot zone, down 1.84%. First Industrial, Q3 FFO a share, 68 cents versus 66 cents on revenues of $167.645 million. And they are down 1.63% onto Rexford Industrial, Q3 FFO a share, 59 cents versus 58 cents. And that is a big sell-off right there, down 8%. SL Green Realty, Q3 EPS 21-cent loss versus estimate of a 50-cent loss. And they are moving right out of that base right now. 2.72% on that news. Cohen and Steers, Q3 adjusted EPS 77 cents versus 78 cents. Missed, and it is moving on up. They have adjusted operating margin of 35.7 for the year so far. On to healthcare. Capricor Therapeutics announces proposed public offering of common stock. I missed that, and this looks like a high type flag, if you ask me. So it moves up here. Here's a flagpole, and it's just kind of trending. I would see that this is kind of the box it is creating. Often they go up 100%. So this has gone from, let's say, $5 to $20. So I definitely say that is 100%. And they often go up another 100% after that. So they will double again. So that might be something you want to put on your watch list. Glaukos announced that the second phase 3 confirmatory pivotal trial for XPHR is the next generation corneal cross-linking eye-link therapy for treatment of keratoconus, successfully met the study's pre-specified primary efficacy endpoint. So is up 1.68% on that news. Sanofi in talks with French governments to address concerns on a Palo deal. Officials raised concerns about a potential sale of controlling stake in Sanofi's consumer health business to private equity firm Clayton, Dubilier, and Rice. So that is the story with Sanofi, up 0.22% today. Technology, media, and telecom. Apple's chief people officer, Carol Surface, is leaving the company, Bloomberg News reported. I messed up that ticker symbol, but it looks like tried to fill the gap yesterday, and it's definitely filled the gap now. So we'll see if it continues to rise. On to Crown Castle. AFFO, $1.84 versus consensus of $1.80. It gaps down 3.6%. Nokia has laid off close to 2,000 employees in China and is in the process of laying off further 350 employees in Europe, per company spokesman. And it initially sold off and it's trying to fight back to stay above its 50-day moving average. NVIDIA, Intel, AMD shares rise pre-market after Taiwan Semiconductor posts a jump in profit. NVIDIA is getting pretty close to that region right there, the pivot zone. Intel up slightly, 1.39%. AMD up just ever so slightly, 1.2%. Federal Trade Commission announces final click-to-cancel rule, making it easier for consumers to end recurring subscriptions and memberships, affecting companies such as Apple, which we just looked at, Amazon, up 0.48%. I believe this is Comcast, up 0.6%. This company does not come up. Maybe let's see if this is supposed to be two companies. I don't think it would be Commercial Metals. This interesting. Commercial Metals is kind of taking off here with their earnings coming in at negative 43%. Google also is listed. They're off slightly. And Netflix, right before earnings, pulls back to their 50-day line. Pretty interesting. And since we're on looking at all the big cap tech, might as well look at the others. Meta is holding above its 20-day moving average. Just wondering if I had missed any. Tesla. So that is a look there. Let us go to our daily work. We look at what's up 10%. This is where the money is flowing today. Big move up on Taiwan Semiconductors, as we said, is up 11.7% on nearly 500% increase in volume. Webster Financial, look at that move, up 10%, 432% increase in volume, gets into the pivot zone. Holding company for Webster Bank. The earnings came in at negative 14%, pretty much just like this anticipated. And wasn't an earnings surprise, but it is moving higher. And we are going to Alorum Security, cybersecurity, across the 50-day moving average, and it bounces up 15% this morning. Finally, Iridium Communications up 13%, gaps up and surges higher. On look at the volume yesterday was blue bar. Look at all these blue bars telling you people were nibbling. So sometimes you can read the tea leaves here to tell you kind of what, if there's another move coming. Earnings came in and up 999% today. And that was a 3.24% earnings surprise. What are we doing today? Well, let's take a look at one of the worst performing in the portfolio, which is Dave. This is an outside day. It is outside the range of yesterday's move. Guess you could call that a shooting star. So Dave, AMSC is an inside day, pulling back a little bit, 4.24%. BitX, we got one more day for till that option expires. We'll keep all that premium. ELF, Beauty did sell off earlier and then is kind of bouncing. So we'll just kind of see if it has hit the bottom here. video. Getting ready for the breakout here. Reddit. It's definitely broke out and it just keeps moving higher. Oracle got a gap up on Carpenter is up 1.4%. MicroStrategy was down in the morning. It is bouncing. Bounced off of that 10-day moving average up 1.3%. I guess we could take a look at this too. Yeah, the Bitcoin sold off in the morning, is trying to fight back here. We showed on our earlier chart. Vertiv has cleared the 50-day moving average. So we got Vertiv right around this area. So it is moving on up. It's up about 28% from our buy. And A-Lab continues to hold this area, pull back close to it 2 days ago. Yesterday it moved up and it gapped up today on that news from Taiwan Semiconductor. So that is where we're looking right now. I think we'll definitely get rid of, probably get rid of Dave today. I just don't like that move. But that is our report for today. This Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll catch you on Aloha Friday. Keep going out there, working on your goals and your activities. Can help you with any of your financial goals or activities, let us know. And remember, Mornings with Michael is for information and educational purposes only. It's your responsibility to do your own due diligence on what's right for you.